All right, we are live. Welcome, everybody. I hope you guys are having an incredible week. It is such an honor to be here. Thousands and thousands. So I'm going to share the live here. We are live. And join. All right, so we have a lot to talk about today. I've been getting a lot of downloads or information about what are some of the important things that we need to focus on at this time. And one of those amazing things that has come through, I wish I could share all my experiences over the past couple of weeks with you, but the veil has been very, very, very thin in the past week, couple of weeks. The amount of information coming through, the amount of downloads, the amount of understanding of things has deepened tremendously. My dream state has been super vivid and clear and informative. And I've been hearing a lot of the same from students. So I hope that you are also experiencing some of those same things. But yeah, let's talk a little bit about, answer some questions, but also I want to talk to you today about an element of the integration of divine higher self into the physical. Now, the anatomy of our body as we know it energetically, we think of the chakras mainly. The first 7 chakras as being the main energy centers of the body, and the dantians essentially holding those, let's say, the dantian means the collection of life force. So we can say it becomes an integrated center of energy that is the connection of the lower, the middle, and the upper dantian. And each of these dantians are made up of several different chakras in the body, main chakras, and also thousands of micro chakras which are around the body. And all of these chakras, being vortex points, are kind of interconnecting this holographic network of life force through our body, that which animates the hologram of the body. Now, what is animating? How is this infinite source energy entering into the body and essentially animating our body into life? And where does the information of this hologram, where does it access that information in order to project into our reality? So I want to cover those topics today. And the reason why is because in the process of understanding unconditional self-love, as I mentioned many times, self-love is not just the emotion that you feel towards the body, but it's an entire multidimensional structure of your body that manifests, that is cultivated as a result of how you are allowing source to express through this physical vessel. The temporary human experience, when disconnected from the source, becomes very parasitic, in that we have very little connection to our free will, and we basically become a product of our unconscious behaviors. We become a product and a result of stimulation, external stimulation. All external stimulation stimulates something in the field that makes us respond. Not really respond, we are reactionary to things. We react to things from a place of survival. And the human adapts more to its more primal archetype, okay? The primal archetype is the survival mind, the reptilian mind, the survival mind that is purely stuck in the sensations of the physical body, the stimulations of the physical body, and it's so disconnected from those systems that it is completely overlaid with this idea of absolute survival inside out. We are in survival internally in our mind. We are in survival with our own essence. We are confused about who we are. We are confused about our purpose. We're confused about what we're doing in our direction of life. We become extremely confused about all the things that we're doing in our life that essentially eventually results in illness, and it results in a disconnect in the law of accident, which is essentially a knocking of your vibrational frequency in order to remember again that you are not just the physical aspect of yourself. You are a multidimensional being, which, you know, the invitation is that we allow Source to express itself fully. And that's the integration of your higher self. So these energy centers of the body, the lower dantian being a connection of the root, the sacral, and the solar chakra. That's your sexual energy, your security, how you feel in the physical body, your safety. And these are just simplifying complex dualistic natures of these organs, of these multidimensional organs, you can say. These vortices are connected to organs, they're connected to the multidimensional body. So anytime that these systems of energy are, again, out of balance, they shift our perception and our understanding of the overall of what we are. So these are things that we have to work on clearing and opening. Why? Because the product of that is that we can allow more Source into the body. And that is the ultimate embodiment of light. It's that you expand your field, that you grow your light. And what light are we growing? That's what we're going to talk about today. What light are we growing? Is it, you know, the chakras? Are the chakras expanding? What does it mean? Or is it just that we're expanding, you know, the top three chakras? How are we working with this energy? What light is actually expanding? Well, the light that's expanding is essentially the Source cord. I call it the Source cord. Now, it's not really a cord. It's really just the vessel. It's really not even a vessel. It is the pathway through which infinite potential animates this fractal. Your physical body, right here, right now, that is a fractal of infinite potential. And how you hold your body, how you hold your energy, how you experience this life in whichever way, there's no limitation to that experience, depends on how you are interacting with this higher self. How much free will you allow yourself to embody and apply into your life is something that is really important in your healing process, in your process of remembering who you are by activating your bioelectricity. So in other words, becoming more conductive, bioelectrically conductive. So let's take a look at this. We're going to open this PowerPoint because I want to share with you some of the etheric anatomy to our body. How does our etheric anatomy operate? Now let's talk about what is the Source cord exactly, because when we think about the Source cord, some of you might confuse your spinal cord or the Sushumna, what some people, in Hindu literature and study in the school of the energy body, the Sushumna, which is the meridian line, the main meridian line that goes down the center of the body. Hold on, that is not the image I want to show you for that. Now, this is separate from that. It's not separate. It's one, but it's talking about something different. Bear with me just a minute. Okay, here we go. Okay, so most people might think of the Source cord as being this pathway here, down the spine. Okay, this is what is called the Sushumna, the main meridian line down the body that connects to all of your chakra, the main chakra systems. As you can see, this is showing the nervous system of the body. The nervous system is showing the chakra, the nerve endings as they connect to all of the organs and the endocrine system in the body. So this is a multidimensional system that connects organs, nervous system, your crystal and bone structure, and then it goes out into the etheric layers of your body, all of which is, intercommunicating holographic system. This system that is connected to the nervous system is a very important part of being able to expand and contract your source cord. The source cord is essentially this. It is a pillar of light, is a pathway of light, as I was mentioning earlier, that you see here in pink. This pathway of light is where your source, life force, is moving through the body. How does that function? When our nervous system in our physical body is contracted, okay, let's put the source cord here for a minute. Here is your root, your sacral, your solar, your heart, your throat, your third eye. In the same way that we have these nerve endings here, the spinal cord is also holding on to those pathways of memory and information, the spinal cord, which is why the spinal cord is really important in meditation, that we learn how to maintain posture. It's allowing that flow of energy. The more that you meditate, the more that your body automatically just wants to sit straight, essentially. It wants to sit up straight. But, that's not something that you have to force. All of these things are just to understand what to note for when you're doing your internal shadow work. This spinal cord that connects all the way up to the pineal gland and then up into the ventricles of the brain, the pineal gland up into the crown chakra. The crown being your 7th and your 8th center. The 7th chakra is the center of the higher self. The 8th chakra is the center of the connection to our source. So when any of these fields on the lower body are blocked in any way, and this is the contraction of, emotions. Contraction of emotions. Imagine these red dots being emotions that you're holding in your body for a long amount of time. Unresolved emotions, fears, anxieties, contractions that affect the body, the organs in those parts of the body. They block the flow of energy. But not only do they block the flow of energy and how your chakra is moving, because your chakra is a vortex. So the heavier the contraction, and just check into your body right now. I just want you to check in your root chakra right now. How does it feel? Your sacral, the muscles in your solar plexus, are they contracted in any way? Are you holding on to anything in any way? Are you contracting any emotions in your body? That is how you can really begin to understand how your chakra and energy body is flowing. If you are contracting any of these muscles in any way, that resistance is the block of life force. It's the block of chi. In Tai Chi and in practices in energy, martial arts, cultivation arts like Qigong, one very important element that is taught very early on is to understand how to feel and sense how we move energy, how our patterns of resistance are to energy, to life force. When the patterns of resistance in your body are in constant resistance to everything, in resistance to your own emotions, in fear of any kind, right? We have in fighting in martial arts, we take our base stance. And I want you all to watch, if you have some time, a documentary called The Power of Chi. I don't know if anyone has seen that. Oh, magnificent. Really, really loved it so much. because they compared different martial artists, athletes, and so on, the best of their field that are trained in order to hold certain powerful stances, and their life force, their power, their punching power, their fighting power for MMA fighters or whatever they are. The best of the best, trained to learn how to balance their bodies and how to sustain that energy. As they were tested by a Qigong master, a Tai Chi master, all of them failed. None of them were able to sustain their power, because what is explained is that anyone that is resisting the move of life force is immediately weakening their ability to manage life force. And I can't tell you and stress how deeply important that is to understand. This is not just about fighting, the example of fighting physically. This is internally, the emotional, psychological way that we are managing and holding our life force with life in general, engaging with other humans, engaging with experiences, with the stimulation around you. Anytime that something stimulates you and you go into resistance, to block, or in a fear or survival, remember, survival, fear, separation, the lowest forms of creation for a human. Why? Because they're completely disconnected from the infinite life force that can flow through this physical body in order to animate creation. So in this documentary, as the Qigong master explained, that when the body goes into absolute relaxation, into complete centered calm, control of their own flow of their body, and stay very fluid and moving with where the energy was moving, none of those MMA fighters, athletes, wrestlers were able to harm this man. Simply the energy would move through. And by directing his life force, he can shift the weight of his body, making himself heavier or lighter. He can shift the amount of power that is moving through his finger, just touching someone, through the man that is, I don't know how many pounds, this gigantic man, feet away from him, just touching him with a finger. The guy not even breathing, and the poor athletes are barely catching their breath. So this is a very important lesson to understand. And another very important thing that was discussed is that the cultivation of life force is something that grows with practice. It doesn't matter how old you are. They then took a very, very elder man. I'm not sure how old, maybe in his 70s or something like that, 80s. And the elder man had the exact, if not more, force than the younger man that was a Tai Chi master. This is accumulated in the body. What a beautiful example to understand how life force moves through our physical bodies. Because this is exactly what we need to understand in order to understand the centripetal spin of your energy body, in order to cultivate longevity, health, vitality, and your connection to your higher self, your source, the infinite fountain of wisdom. That ability to tap into the Akash and understand deeply your purpose, to have your experiences and align and harmonize with those experiences in a way that is nourishing to your body rather than depleting, that causes suffering, that causes disconnect in any way. So when we talk about the contraction of life force inside of the lower dantian, let's take a look at really quickly the energy centers of the body. The meridian lines are pathways of life force, and it's a wonderful resource to have these kinds of graphics. Just understand yourself. Now, please understand all of this information. These are things that I first discovered through meditating. Okay, so not looking at any of this, you can understand these maps intuitively. That's something I want to be very clear about. So you don't need to go and necessarily study this information. My invitation is, and what I really advise, is for you to meditate and connect with your body and explore your body. How does it work? Where do you store emotional data? Where do you suppress emotional information? What are your physical symptoms going on in your body? What are the patterns? And you can begin to understand that in your body is encoded your entire ancestral history of traumas, limitations, belief systems, blockages, pains, and sufferings, physical, mind, body, and soul, because your soul has been called forth into the incarnation of this ancestral lineage in order to bring forward this ancestral lineage. You are maintaining a balance and harmony in the collective earth. As I talked about in my last video, every single human is holding the key to sustaining harmony in the whole. Every single human. So your body is like a map. It's the blueprint of information that allows us to understand. So anytime any of these meridian lines becomes blocked in any way, and there's a profound connection between these meridian lines and your psychological programming, okay? So there's two ways to heal this and open up the pathways. Energy clearing, okay? So energetic hygiene every day, simple, ground, run energy, clear your energetic body, clear your at least your 13 layers of your body. All 13 layers are animating life force into this physical body on the deepest levels, of the tissues to the bones to the nervous system to the cells of your body. Those 13 layers are constantly intercommunicating with the multidimensional human physical body. So it's not that some of you have some of those chakras activated, some of you don't. They are all functioning. Otherwise, we would be basically dead. You cannot remove the chakras. You cannot. You are your chakras. Without your chakras, you don't exist, because that is the projection that creates the hologram of the physical body. And we have to be, well, the invitation is, right? There's no have, I won't say have. The invitation is that you are mindful of how you are moving this life force through your body. So anytime that you understand these blocks here, we're still not talking about the source cord yet, but we are talking about how to open the source cord. Here's what I discovered. After spending a lot of time clearing my chakra body, emotionally and psychically through the etheric body, began to open pathways, different levels. First of all, the first thing that happens is that your third eye begins to open up. So a lot of you at the beginning meditation, you're going to feel pressure here in the foreheads. Some of you might feel overwhelmed with that. It's okay. You're going to get through it. It's not a problem. You're going to be safe. So that's the first physical symptom. Okay, so you open your third eye. Once you begin to cultivate the third eye, you begin to cultivate your heart chakra. Okay, because you need your third eye to be able to see broader ranges of light in the light spectrum. And when I talk about light, I'm talking about vibrational frequency, because light is not just it's not just the visible human spectrum. It's many other, many other frequencies that we are learning to become adapting our senses to processing. And I mean, all of you are processing many of these frequencies all the time. The thing is to become aware of it and to be able to speak the language in order to communicate or to understand and translate what is being communicated through this light, through these frequencies of information. So every single one of the organs processes different frequencies of light more than others. Every organ is constantly processing different frequencies. And so when we have physical issues, for example, in the digestive system, or the releasing functions of your body, the purification, your pancreas, your stomach, your liver, your kidneys. These main organs that function as the main organs of purification of your body. When we don't have a clear mind, we have clouded organs as well. When we are confused, when we are scared, when we're disconnected, our organs are also suffering. Okay, so we got to help the body by clearing the stagnation, and you're going to do that energetically first. Because a lot of times, if you go directly to the emotional work, you're going to be overwhelmed with the emotions if you don't understand how to quiet down completely out of balance energy systems. And emotions are very powerful for the human, especially during this time of major energetic transitions that we're going through. A lot of you might be feeling very sensitive to emotions recently. That those have been the many 911 calls this week, that emotions are just overwhelming. So we're in between eclipses when major cosmic transitions like this happen in the universe. Humans are obviously, we become more sensitive. These are major transitions. Every planet is connected to the organs. Every planet is connected to the different chakra systems for you. Your astrological charts can help you kind of understand some of that. But on a much deeper, more intuitive level, how we hold the patterns of emotional energy in the body will dictate the health of these organs. Each one of these organs is interconnected to one another. As you can see, the beautiful 5-pointed star that allows us to understand the interconnection of the 5 elements through the organs of the body. Everything from platonic solids to how the structures of light are moving through your body are processed through these energy systems. Any one of these energy systems that's out of balance causes blockage. What happens in the contraction of blockage is that not only does your energy body, so we exist, the entire universe functions like a lattice of contraction and expansion. We exist in that field, like a lattice of contraction and expansion. Your light body, which is allowing you to experience many dimensions simultaneously. You are made of many spheres, dimensional spheres. You are made of them. It's not that you go into them. It's not that you enter them or that you tap into them. You are them. How you use the life force in the body allows you to change the frequency to access the information of those dimensions. So this is important for healing, because if you can begin to intuitively connect to your body and where you're holding, deep blockages and energy, emotions that you haven't released, you can understand which one of your dimensional layers all of that debris sits in, because a lot of times it's in more than one of our layers, and then it connects to the organs of the body. We can heal the body by clearing up these blockages. And you can do it in meditation with your mind using the tool of your imagination, which is what imagination is for. Your imagination is like a television set that allows your intuition to translate the language of vibrational frequency into something that you can understand. And so as you begin to move through your body and untie these knots of life force that are blocking the meridian lines, you begin to open the pathway. After your third eye begins to expand, you begin to expand your range of light, which means that you begin to expand your range of vision. You are not only looking at the visible spectrum of rainbow color light that we see, human spectrum, but you begin to understand broader ranges of frequencies. And you understand them not just through your eyes, but you begin to understand them through all the senses, through the nervous system, through the cerebellum, going all the way down here into the vagus nerve, which is the main network of nervous system that runs through the entire sensory body. It's the parasympathetic nervous system. The parasympathetic nervous system is the antenna for your vibrational language. So you're feeling and sensing everything through your senses, your skin, your touch, your smell, what you hear, many ranges of sound that you can develop in hearing. You can even develop the ability to hear dog whistles And essentially you begin to develop the ability to have telepathic communication, which is what telepathy is all about. So the cultivation of these higher faculties by opening up the pathways of energy in your body, you are able to expand the range of frequency by how your conductivity in your body is moving. The more blocked you are, the less your vortex is spinning. That's the important thing to understand. You are an entire universe. The planets, many interdimensional, many different solar systems, Pleiadian constellation, Sirius constellation, Arcturian, all these planetary systems that humans are descendants from, that we have in our DNA, all of that is part of your energy system. It's part of your subconscious layers of ancestral memory. You have two memories, your earth ancestry and your, I guess you can say, universal ancestry. And all of them are accessible to you simultaneously in this moment. None of them are in the past or the future in that sense. So what happens to the body when we begin to develop then the third eye is that the second step is after you start to open your third eye, you begin to develop your heart chakra. Okay, why do you develop your heart chakra? Your heart chakra is the center in which you begin to integrate the lower, the middle, and the upper dantian. Okay, the lower and the middle and the upper dantian, okay, essentially that's where you start to experience compassion. And compassion is required in order to integrate your lower dantian. Your lower dantian, which is made out of your root, your sacral, your solar chakra. These three that you are integrating here in the root will shift your entire perception, because these are the heaviest, the most densest bodies. And they are also connected to the most important organs of your body, which is why emotional healing is absolutely essential to your higher spiritual development. You heal your body by healing your emotions. You heal your mind. You heal your ability to navigate. You activate your interdimensional abilities by healing your emotional body. Everything starts in the emotional body. Without control over the emotions, we are puppets of our ancestry, repeating things over and over again. So the activation of the heart is what will unite heaven and earth. Okay, what is earth? Earth is the lower dantian, heaven is the upper dantian, the higher body, the higher mind. The ability to begin to open the pathways allows us to integrate into the crown being your seventh. The crown is your higher self. That is the access way to the higher self. The higher self becomes available to you as you open your intuition, tap into compassion. And the higher self is essentially the knowing, the all-knowing that connects to the DNA of the earth, that allows you to tap into the wisdom of the ancestors, the wisdom of the universal information that allows you to come into right order and harmony with your highest purpose here on this planet Earth and many other dimensions. This process is what allows, as you begin to activate your crown, the source chord. Now, the source chord, as I was mentioning earlier, this is the pathway of source light that is connecting us to source. When we learn to develop the source chord as a result of the integration of our energy body, of our emotional body first. One moment. Okay, the emotional body first, and then the energetic body as a result. We are opening the blocks. Okay, so before that, we might have, all the blockages down here. See if I can draw here. All the blockages down here, of course, the source cord cannot move through here. Look, this is the source cord. First of all, the source cord in people that have very little spiritual connection looks almost fainting. And it's different for every person that has a different psychological, somatic problems. The source cord has different effects. We can talk about that another time. Sometimes the source cord looks split. Sometimes the source cord has dips and holes in it. Okay, this is what is seen inside of the energy body. Okay, so if the source cord was here, what would happen if this human had a bunch of blockages is that basically the source cord would look like it has a bunch of holes everywhere. And usually where the human is holding those holes in the source cord, that's where they have physical issues. Okay, everything from heart issues, sexual organ issues, every physical issue is connected to this. Why? Because again, this source cord is basically connecting to your physics, it's a projection of how you holding life force to the body. So if your body is blocking, we can't allow that source energy to move through. The resistance of infinite potential, which is available to you at all times, anytime, is blocked. So as we begin to, right now, check into your body, if you have a hard time imagining your source cord, that tells you where the majority of your chakras are what they're doing. Okay, when the first three chakras are wide open and completely stagnant with blockages, it's the human body, like, it's not operating correctly. Okay, so if your root chakra is wide open, taking up all this space, of course it's going to shift your perception. All you're going to see is whatever is in that root chakra. Let's say it's a red chakra. So check right now, just look at your energy body. If you have a hard time imagining the source cord, you should see a pillar. It often looks white, and some people say silver, whitish, translucent pillar of light that goes in through the crown of your head, down through the center core of your body, down through the perineum and into the center of the earth. Now, we have two different cords in the body, but I'm not going to focus too much on the second one today, okay, because it's a lot to explain, and I want to be thorough with my explanation so you guys don't get confused. We have two of them. One that goes through the upper axis of our body into the center meridian of the body. We have another one that connects us around the parameter of the earth. Okay, so this one, imagine this cord that goes all the way around the planet Earth, holding you in an axis. You can imagine in a net plane of life force. Okay. This what is pointed to as a transverse plane. We have another cord that runs through the center cord of the solar plexus. Most people don't talk about that one because, unfortunately, not a lot of people are developing the awareness of that one. But that usually develops when we have integrated the root, the sacral, and the solar enough to have very strong grounding into the physical body. Your source cord, when it's completely blocked, your upper body, your upper vortex of your body also does not spin. Because you're not using your heart. You're not in your heart. You're not in a state of love and compassion. The love is the alchemizing life force. That's why love is the alchemizing life force. So let's talk about this source cord in the body. Today's meditation, we're going to focus on the cultivation of that source cord. We're going to do some energetic healing in the body so we can begin to establish that source cord. And that'll be your homework for this week, essentially, those of you that want to play with me in this way. You're going to learn to enhance your source cord. Now, these are things that are naturally developed. Again, how I discovered this was through, many years of meditation. But, it, I really discovered the most of it when I was sitting in retreat for 4 months. It's within those 4 months that I educated myself on all these things on the energy body, because I'm exploring the body, right? I'm exploring what's going on there, what's happening, what is this light that's here? The light that we are learning to grow in the body is our source cord. And this source cord not only expands the multidimensional body, but it also allows you to connect to your higher faculties. It allows you to connect to your higher faculties, and it really allows you to expand your auric field. So a couple things happen. The integration of the middle dantian creates the source cord. So this circle that I'm showing you here is basically showing you it's like the tube of your light that runs through the center core of your body, running through the body here, okay? So you have one that is here in the center and one that's here. So we're going to develop both of them. And what you're going to notice, a tremendous emotional, mental, physical stability when you begin to cultivate this axis of light through your body. This is the cultivation of the 0 point. What happens when you start to do that, the 0 point, is that your body begins to spin faster, your vortex. The spinning of your vortex, which is the Merkabaic body, is it's a geometric form that your body takes on, but it's also the harmonizing of the 5 elements in your body, harmonizing with the infinite source of life force around you. And in the process of that, you want to repeat to yourself that, you want to be in a state of self-love. So you love yourself and you love all things around you. This is what I learned during the process of identifying this. The more I would understand what that actually meant, that I was one with everything and that everything is an extension of this projection, this physical body that is projecting experiences and feeling stimulations and sensations around, the easier difficult situations can become challenges. This is extremely important at this time because we're going through very tumultuous times. If your attention is on the media, your attention is on all kinds of distractions external to you, but not this system that you're learning how to connect your life force, you're going to be in trouble, because the whole point of this transition time is to go back inside, to go back into right order, to come back to your higher knowing, to your higher self. So this is essentially the invitation. Okay. All right, so let's get into the practice. Let's see what we can find in there, shall we? Thank you guys so much for joining me. Everybody that's here with me, it's such an honor to have you. Everybody on YouTube, thank you. Everybody on my my Zoom. Okay, so questions, you're gonna put in capital letters, please, in the chat, and I'll be super happy to answer them. Let's get into the meditation. Go ahead and ground yourself. You're gonna just go ahead and begin to feel the earth through your body. Bring yourself fully into your body. Go ahead and visualize the bubble around your body, which is the 13 layers of your field. Come into absolute stillness and observation. Quiet your mind. Begin to observe yourself in stillness. Notice everything. Notice the sounds around you. Notice your body. Notice tightness in your body. Notice your breathing. Your breathing plays a very huge role in how you are regulating your nervous system. And it also plays a role in how your source cord is able to expand within your body. If you're not breathing from your belly fully expanding, chances are your nervous system in the lower body is contracted, your chakra in the lower body is blocked. Allow yourself to go into a deeper observation. Into a deeper stillness. Start to work with the root chakra at the base of your spine. Go ahead and visualize shrinking that chakra down to the size of a dime. Go up into your sacral. Go ahead and shrink your sacral chakra down to the size of a dime. Into your solar plexus, shrinking your solar plexus down to the size of a dime. Go up into your heart. Go ahead and expand your heart chakra, front and back. Your throat. Your third eye. Go up into your crown. Expand your crown. Come back into observation. Notice if anything has shifted and just adjust yourself. You're going to bring green life force from the center of the earth. You're going to run it up your legs, creating a vortex of energy at your center core. Going to bring source energy down into the crown of your head, down your spine, combining with the earth energy, your center core. Breathing down to the base of the spine, breathing. Come back into observation. Let's go ahead and allow ourselves to take 10% of that back down to the center of the earth. Go ahead and take 80% of that up your spine from the crown of your head, including the outside of your field. You're going to take that final 10% of green and gold energy, bring it into the body, into the pores, the flesh, the muscles, the bones, down to the cellular level of your body. Let your body absorb that healing, redirect that source and earth energy to all parts of your body that need it the most. Let's go deeper. Let's begin to clear the energy body. So go ahead and start with the root body. Allow yourself to use your third eye, your vision, your intuition to tune into your first chakra body. Just observe all the debris that's in that chakra body. Let's begin to clear it out. You're going to imagine that that chakra body is a toroidal field around your body that you're going to be sweeping down, cleaning every single part. Go ahead and imagine that you clean out all the debris of this energy body until it's completely crystal clear. Okay. So this is the root body. And you're going to notice shifts and changes in your energetic field. You're going to notice emotions, shift and changes. Let's go up into the sacral body. Once again, we're going to clear this energy body from top to bottom, clearing the entire toroidal field of the sacral body. Just imagine clearing all the debris. Some of you might have more in the back of your body. Some of you might find more in the front. Pay attention. Your entire body is communicating to you in many different ways, in terms of your thoughts, in terms of how you're holding your yin and your yang energy in those parts of your body, feminine and masculine. So if you notice that one side of your chakra body is more heavy than the other, it tells you a lot about where you're storing emotions and traumas. Let's say in the masculine side, the right side, or the feminine side, the left side. The front side being the masculine, the back side being the feminine. Okay. Let's go up into the solar plexus now. Let's clear out the solar plexus body. Go ahead and clear it out from top to bottom. You can imagine, make it very easy for you. Imagine a giant vacuum underneath your body, just sucking everything out. Everything gently just slips down into that little vacuum underneath you. Everything, that vacuum, everything connects to source. So everything is transmuted. Even if it goes back to earth, it is transmuted into source. 0 point. When we equalize the imbalance of these dualistic energies, we come back to 0, always. Solar plexus, nice and clear. Let's go up into the heart body, heart chakra. It's a sphere of your body. I'm going to clear it out, the heart, front and back. Clearing it out. Notice that your muscles will contract less. So if you've had a lot of stress and your muscles in your body were contracted, they will be much more relaxed. This is the power of working with your own life force. You can imagine all these knots and these blockages in your energy body. Imagine how your mind is, right? How can a mind be still and calm when you have all these energy knots in your body? It's impossible. The mind quiets down when the energy body is balanced, and vice versa. Okay, let's go up into the throat chakra, clearing out the throat. Sometimes energy can feel really sticky and really difficult to imagine that you can dissolve it or remove the block. So these are really long-standing blockages that we have, sometimes ancestral. It's okay, just use your imagination. You can imagine turning it to water and then it just, evaporates or drips down, or sand and it just drips down, or vapor and it just floats away. You can imagine blowing it up, exploding it. Use your imagination. Make it easy for you. What really we're battling here, the reason why it's hard is because we need to learn to believe in ourselves, in our creative power. We need to learn to trust in our healing ability. As soon as you intend something, it happens immediately in the energy body. So that's how powerful you are. It just takes the mind some time to understand that and to remember that. Instant manifestation. In this third dimensional realm, everything is so slow and heavy. So sometimes that's part of the waking up process. Speaking the language of light, which is pretty instant. Go up into your throat now, clearing out the throat. Clearing out the third eye. Notice how every single one of the dimensions that you entered of your own body, you can feel either more dense, heavy, and the higher you go, the lighter it feels. Okay, that's normal. And that's how you can begin to understand the language of frequencies, also platonic solids. You'll understand that later. I'm sure you understand now, but it's something that is connected. Okay, so let's go up into your crown. Let's go ahead and clear the crown chakra. That's your connection to your higher self. Notice if you have any dark spots. Usually people will have like dark spots, clouds, like right above the crown. Just go and remove whatever needs to be moved out. Also, we tend to have them in the perineum. Blockages in the perineum is blockages in the crown every single time, because as above, so below. Let's go up into the eighth now, our relationship with source. Okay, so this is where we start to open the eighth chakra. Go ahead and clear the eighth layer of your body. Same thing, clearing from top to bottom. Clearing whole etheric body as if you're removing all the debris. You guys are doing incredible. Okay. So now that our crown is cleared, let's begin to observe the source cord. Go ahead and visualize a white pillar of light, or however you see it. Tune into your source cord, and you're going to begin to see it through the center of your body. If it's your first time tuning in, it's probably going to look like you can visualize it maybe up to the crown of your head, and then it's going to be hard for your body. That's quite typical for people that are disconnected. So it's okay. Just imagine that pillar of light through the center. It's going to look like a solid pillar of light through your body. The more solid, the more complete, the more even the light is distributed through this pillar of light through the center of your body, the more in harmony and in health your entire system becomes. If you have a cold, a flu, some illness that you're working through, this is a wonderful way to flush that out of the body. If you sustain that source cord for 24 hours, I guarantee conditions will change. But it's something that has to be sustained consciously 24 hours, during your waking state. You guys are doing incredible. Wherever you notice that it's hard for that source cord to be, processing through the body, it's okay. Just remove whatever debris is there and make it whole all the way through. You'll notice that through your organs, it's sometimes more difficult. Okay, so just see that source cord all the way through, down through the perineum, down to the center of the earth. And a lot of you are going to want to stop when you get to the bottom of your body in the perineum. You need to keep going all the way down. Connect to the center of the earth. So let's take a moment to observe now. Come back into observation. Notice how that feels. If your source cord feels lopsided, more to one side than the other, make it even in the center of your body. If you feel the back of the body is missing, just let yourself visualize it, that pillar of light through the back of your body. Okay, so we're gonna clear our karmic contracts. So let's go ahead and go up to our crown, and I want you to see a room full of karmic contracts, all of the agreements that you have made to experience. And you're just going to shine your crown light on top of them and just dissolve them. Let's go ahead and clear those out. And once you've cleared that room out, you're going to fill it with your crown color. Just notice the frequency color that is in your crown chakra. You're going to fill that room with that color. When you remove things, sometimes you might think like you still see it, but it's like lighter or more translucent. That means it's still there. So keep going until it's absolutely, you feel it's not there at all. You can't sense it, or it just feels like it's not there anymore. This, with practice, you develop a really strong understanding and discernment. Okay, so a lot of you might feel your heart chakra expanding more. So we're going to go in between the heart and the solar plexus. You have another chakra here. Go ahead and expand that chakra between the heart and the solar plexus. Open that up. Open that chakra front and back. This is the chakra of unconditional self-love. It's in the integration of the physical and the heart. And as you open up that chakra, you're going to see a pillar of light that moves through the center core of your body out through your back. I want you to visualize that pillar of light going all the way around the perimeter of the earth. And you'll immediately begin to notice how stable you feel in this body, how much more grounded, calm your mind is. Okay, so for some people, this state might be boring because it's not as exciting. You're not in a constant state of survival and stimulation. But for the person that wants to master their co-creation, this is really the place of empowerment and actual creation. So I invite you to become familiar. And let's go ahead and open the root chakra back into a balanced state. Now that it's nice and clean. The sacral, the solar, your heart, you're going to bring it in a little bit. Bring in your throat a little bit. Bring in your third eye a little bit. So you have chakras nice and balanced in your body. You can maintain your heart, throat, third eye, and crown just slightly more open than the root, sacral, and solar. Okay. And go ahead and come back into the room and open your eyes. And welcome back. You guys did incredible. Thank you so much for joining me. Before we end today, I want to share this little video that I came across that I thought was really wonderful. And I don't know if maybe some of you have seen it before. Let's see if I can try to show it here. And let's see if you can hear it. Let's see if it works.
We all love a babbling brook and the freshness of outdoor vegetation.
Okay, can you guys hear that? Let me see. Can you guys hear that when I press play? Yeah, okay, awesome.
Most of us believe that it is relaxation and beauty which refreshes us. From our research, we have discovered that living plants and rarefied atmosphere provide a richer field of negative ions, which heightens and replenishes our own energy field. Notice that the man's field becomes light in color and high in frequency, sparkles, and radiates some distance from his body. See that as the child moves into the mother's field, the affection between them changes the overall field to a pink color. Individuals' fields blend and enhance when there is a warm, caring relationship. These energy fields are the largest and the whitest that we have shown. She is Omi. On the breath inhalation, the radiant field diminishes, and on exhalation, it expands and envelops the child. We have known for a long time that Gregorian chants, Omi, humming, singing, and whistling create an energy which perks up emotions and brings an expanded consciousness.
Cool. Okay, guys, so yeah, I just wanted to share that with you. I found that super beautiful. And of course, that was a scientific documentary on the science of the energy body. You know, it's showing how the energy body is caught on camera in that imagery. But this is how our body grows. Okay, that lady was oming, and om is something that I use all the time. If I am disrupted, if I am in a state of whatever, depression, fear, anxiety, stressing moment, om always allows you. And allow yourself to use your throat, the vibrational frequency. Your throat is a healing organ. Okay, the vibrations and the sounds that you make are vibrational frequencies that change the patterning in the cellular structure of your body, how light is moving through your body. So it's really important to use this as a tool. I do it every morning in the shower because water is a conduit. And as you om, you allow yourself to feed that vibrational frequency into your body, and your field is also nourished with that. So I invite you guys to try that out. But essentially, what we are growing as we create our pillar of light. And if you sustain the awareness of your source cord all the time, your light body grows. Okay, this is not just imagination. This is what actually happens. And to students that I teach this to, you know, you can see their energy body is nice and big and strong and clear. And this person is not confused, not fearful, not distracted, not sick, not out of balance. You learn how to maintain and sustain health, mind, body, and soul in the body. Okay, so I hope you guys enjoyed today's Self-Love Sunday. I love you guys all so much, and I cannot wait to see you guys next week. Thank you so much, everybody in the chat. Let me see if there's any quick questions here. Amalia, skin rash on lower legs related to root chakra issues. Yeah, it is, but first of all, the skin is a really important organ that allows us to, it's a purification organ actually. So, you know, we secrete sweat and hormones through the skin. So anytime that, you know, the skin is expressing something like a rash, there's an impurity that we're clearing out. And especially in the legs, it has to do with your ability to move through this world in a way that is grounded, aligned, integrated, fearlessly. Okay. So I want you to take a look at, your relationship with your self-trust, with your decisions, with how you move in the world. This has to do with your masculine. Okay. And notice which leg it's on the most, or if it's both legs, pay attention to that. The left side is the feminine, the right side is the masculine, the front of the body is the masculine, the back is the feminine. Okay, so it's talking to you, telling you something, where that is. And yeah, the root chakra is in general connected to the lower extremities of the body, but I would also pay attention to your meridian lines and where the rash is showing up on the meridian lines of the body. That'll tell you a little bit of where other imbalances might be in the internal organs. Okay. Charles says, what do you think holding back people from create the wealth and life they desire? What do you think holding back people from creating the wealth? What do you think holds back people, Charles? I think that usually self-doubt is the largest in that department, but I think on a much deeper level, I mean, money is pretty much just the exchange that we've defined for in this realm, in this physical realm. Money we use as an exchange. So what needs to change is a relationship with exchange. So if your relationship with exchange is blocked, thwarted, distorted, if it's coming from shame, from guilt, from fear, from anxieties, from self-doubt, you're not going to be able to exchange. And that model of how you exchange is probably an exact copy of what we learned from mom and dad, how we exchanged and received love, attention. I was just reading this morning that the new currency is attention, is when you can sustain someone's attention. Because of how social media is, stimulating people constantly to move their attention away. And we have such short attention spans nowadays. This is how we exchange energy, the quality of that exchange. So anytime that exchange is limited or blocked or constrained, that's going to show up in our body, and it's going to show up in all parts of our life, relationships, how we speak, whether we can speak our truth psychologically, how we feel about communicating our truth, it goes even deeper. Sexually, how we receive love, how we give love, in our relationships, how we're able to hold space for one another. Okay, so when we talk about wealth, I mean, in my opinion, material wealth comes when you have spiritual wealth. So, the integration of your mind, body, and soul, and the understanding of yourself, not as the physical, the attachment to the physical, the release of attachment is what creates abundance. So the more you are attached to money or wealth or ideas and programs around that, the more difficult it's going to be for you to access that. Okay, so it has to be a never-ending kind of flow, exchange. I did it. I also cried when I started clearing out my root chakra. Excellent, Marilena. And that is Merlina Yazi. Thank you. Love your name. Merlina, that's exactly right. That happens a lot. So it's funny because, you'll think you're fine, but it isn't until you start clearing your body that you start to, remember things and emotions and all kinds of stuff that you're storing there. And think of it this way, we're energy beings. So when you enter into a room and there's an empathic person, if there's an intuitive person, that's the first thing they're going to pick up, right? So that's the law of attraction. That's your resonance. Everything you're carrying in your body, it's like in Bolivia, there's this little, I can't remember the term, what it's called, but I forget the word, but in Bolivia, there's this word of this little guy that walks around carrying all kinds of stuff. He just hangs all stuff on his body. So he looks like this big little guy that just moves everything around with him. So we're like that, right? So that's our resonance, right? Super confused, super disconnected. And it isn't until we clear that up that we can get clear about our intention. That's why intention is so important. The psychology of intention is interesting because our intention comes from the subconscious mind. And when you have a messy mind and you don't take time to quiet the analytical survival mind, you're just out of control. You don't know. That's why people are lost. They don't know what they're creating, what they're doing. So yes, that is normal and it's okay. And then as you have more time, and this is what I suggest, is that as those emotions come up, allow yourself to be present with them so that they can communicate to you what's going on there. Okay. Rainbow, I see a rainbow. Excellent. So yeah, this is how to cultivate the rainbow body, essentially. This is exactly working with the rainbow body. So what advanced masters essentially say is that, the body, all those bodies come into order. They're solid, they're smooth, they're whole. Each one of those, so this is like one chakra body. Okay, you're at the center of this, right? So they become whole, they become complete. Okay, each one of them, all 13 layers of your body. Okay, so basically you won't have tears, holes in them, because sometimes our chakras are like this, right? It's all blocked on one side, then the right side is all empty. A lot of you will notice that when you're sitting in meditation and you're like, I can't really even see this side of my body. I can't see it. Can't see it because you've developed techniques to move away from that energy or contract that energy through life. Beautiful. James, thank you so much for that super chat. Super generous. Love you. Thank you so much. And Peter, love you so much. Thank you so much for that. I greatly appreciate that. All right. Sam, thank you so much. You guys are super, super awesome. You don't know how much I appreciate. Love you. Okay, let's go back here. How to clear the heart chakra. Yeah, so this is one part of it, right? So as soon as you begin to see your heart and just notice, I noticed a lot of people had a lot in the back of their heart chakra in this practice. So take a look at that. And that seems to be a case for a lot of people because we don't learn how to receive and how to give love. That'll tell you. Some people have it weak in the front of their body, right? The field is like, they can't even see it here, but they have it really heavy in the back. So, they're used to receiving, but they don't give, or they're used to giving, but they don't receive. That kind of a dynamic. So the heart chakra, take a look what's in the field, and every single debris that you see is an invitation for some deeper understanding, okay? Merlin, the magician, but with an A at the end. Yes, Merlina, beautiful. Merlina, I guess Merlina then. Thank you for an amazing session. Thank you so much. Awesome, guys. I am so grateful to you. My rainbow was broken up, but there it was there in pieces. Gained so much knowledge. I'm so glad, you guys. You guys are absolutely amazing. Let me see in the Zoom here. Thank you, Geraldine. Thank you, Stephen, for being here. Donica, thank you so much. That was amazing. Evelina, great information. Thank you so much. Liza, love you, Liza. Greg, thank you. Guys, have an amazing week. I will see you.